Hi, I'm Leah. Welcome to my podcast, China Liao Talks. In this podcast, I share honest and down-to-earth stories about life in China, covering everything from culture and work to language learning, all based on real experiences. Let's dive in.
Hello, 大家好. Today's guest is Pinya. Pinya has Chinese heritage and born and raised in Kazakhstan and also studied in the UK. Today, I will ask her about her life in Kazakhstan as well as how her identity was formed in her international experience. Pinya, can you briefly introduce yourself, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Pinya. I'm currently 24 years old, just finished my studies in UK and came back a year ago to China for my work.
Thank you so much. So, you were actually born in Kazakhstan, right? But your family is originally from China, right?
Yes, that's right. My mom is from Hunan, and then my dad is from Hangzhou, which is the south part. And my mom came to Kazakhstan to study Russian, while my dad came to Kazakhstan to explore some business opportunities, and they met there, and they had me there in Kazakhstan.
That's very interesting.
Yes, they mostly work between China and Kazakhstan. That's why they had to travel a lot from Kazakhstan to China a lot of their times. But I stayed in Kazakhstan and then grew up there my whole life until I went to UK to study for my high school. Yes.
I see. So for the people who don't know where Kazakhstan is, could you please tell me how far Kazakhstan is from the cities where your parents are from?
Yes, so Kazakhstan is very close to China. The city where I was born and raised is Almaty. In China, my parents live in Urumqi, which is in Xinjiang region. And it's only 1.5 hour flight, which is very close. However, if you want to go to the south part of China, where my dad is from, Hangzhou, it's 4 hours by plane from Urumqi. So it's approximately 6 hours considering the flight from Almaty to Hangzhou. In total, yeah. But I was saying that Kazakhstan is a very big country as well. It's in the top 10 biggest countries in the world. So Almaty is probably one of the closest cities to China. There are more cities like Astana, which is probably it takes maybe 2.5 hours from Astana to Urumqi. Yes, so it depends on which city. Yes.
That's really true. So because China is also a huge country, right? So sometimes going to a neighbor country is actually closer to traveling between inside of China, right?
Yes. That's what I'm currently experiencing because I have to travel a lot and I feel like I spend a lot of time on the planes because China is huge.
That's right. And now you live in Urumqi, right?
Yes, Urumqi, yes.
For example, if you would like to go to Shanghai, it would take how many hours to Shanghai?
To Hangzhou is 4.5 hours.
Okay, so Hangzhou 4.5 hours means if you want to go to Shanghai a little bit more.
Yeah, 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty long.
Actually, from Shanghai to Tokyo, only 3 hours.
Yes, that's true. That's close.
So you were born and raised in Kazakhstan, right? Kazakhstan and China are neighborhood countries. When you were growing up in Kazakhstan, did you feel that China is still close to you, or did you feel that China is a faraway country when you were living in Kazakhstan?
I definitely don't think it was a faraway country for me because I would visit China every summer. Would visit Urumqi every summer because we have summer holidays for 3 months. And I always came to China for my summer holidays. So for me, it was pretty common to visit China when I was in Kazakhstan. Yes.
I see. So your parents are both from China, right? So in your house, which languages did you use growing up?
It's pretty interesting because the first language I ever spoke was Russian.
Ooh.
We speak Russian language in Kazakhstan as well. And I had a Russian nanny, so my first language was definitely Russian. And until I was 3 years old, I spent one whole summer in China and I completely forgot all Russian language. And then, however, I was able to learn Chinese, how to speak Chinese with my parents. And then when I came back to Kazakhstan, I had to relearn Russian. That's how I was able to speak Chinese and Russian without accent right now. So with my parents, I usually speak Chinese, and then with my Russian nanny and in Kazakhstan, I speak Russian.
How about in your school? Which language did you use for studying?
I studied in international school, but we spoke Russian most of the times with my classmates and with teachers. We did have like English lessons, which is how I learned English. And also I went to summer schools in UK every summer since I was 10 to 15 years old. That also helped me be kind of more or less fluent in English. So overall, I speak Russian, Chinese, and English fluently.
Wow, that's amazing. So you said that you went to international school, means so your schoolmates are not only from Kazakhstan but from other countries as well.
Yes, that's right. But however, like I was the only Chinese student in that international school. We had like a lot of people from different countries, European countries like Poland or France, but nobody from China. Because at that time, it was very early on and there weren't a lot of Chinese people in Kazakhstan at that point of time.
So it seems like the city where you grew up has a lot of foreigners as well.
Yes, Kazakhstan is very multinational country. So maybe one day you will visit it. It's pretty nice.
I would like to. So did you have a local schoolmates as well? Like, the Kazakhstani, going to the international school?
Yeah, we have a lot of Kazakh people coming to the international school. It's open to everyone, like Kazakh people, any international people can also study there. Yeah.
So that means since you were a kid, you grew up in a very international environment. That means you didn't really have a cultural shock or like, I feel different from other people, that kind of feeling. Have you ever experienced that?
I think I still did, because in the school, probably 70% were still Kazakh people. And then I was the only Chinese person growing up in that school for the whole, like, my time studying in Kazakhstan. I did feel different because also I look very Chinese, very Asian. So I didn't really look like anyone else in the community. When I was a kid, I don't think I was very confident about my appearance back then, but over time, I learned this is a good thing to be unique. And also teachers loved me because I was the, high achiever, always on top of the class, doing some extra homework. So I don't think people would like bully me or anything. No. On the other hand, I was more respected and people loved me. Yes, my classmates as well. So wow. I had a lot of friends.
Because you were making lots of efforts for studying and everything else.
Yes. That's a pretty Chinese thing as well, I think.
I can tell that Chinese people are so hardworking, studying or work.
Yes. I was always like on top of the class, to be honest. Yes, and I think it helped me gain confidence with time and like own this uniqueness to myself being Chinese.
Is that because you always wanted to, be a number one in the school or class, or like your parents always encourage you to get a better score, or is there any other motivation for?
I think like my parents were always very hardworking in terms of their work, and they didn't really spend that much time with me, which is why I was thinking that, my parents are so hardworking, so I should be hardworking as well. And seeing them like so hardworking, this definitely drove me to, motivate me to work harder at school.
So you already had a really good role model near you since you were a kid.
I'm very lucky, yes, I can agree to that.
So that means even though you had a moment to feel different from other people, but you didn't really feel lost in your identity?
There were times when I was lost because, when I was in Kazakhstan, I'm not like the 100% Kazakh person because I have Chinese heritage. And then when I visit China, on the other hand, it's the same. So I only know how to speak Chinese without accent, but I haven't learned how to read, how to write, or like the Chinese characters. So a lot of the times I still do feel that I'm not really the Chinese person in China. So I think I'm just like somewhat in the middle, always in the middle.
So that means, did you already have a moment to feel that am I Kazakhstan or Chinese? Did you?
Yes, I will definitely feel like that. I think I always felt like I don't feel like on the same plate with everyone. It's like in the between.
And then now you think that that is your uniqueness, right?
Yes, that's right. I think it's a good thing right now. When I was a child, I would complain. I would say, "Oh, why am I different?" and things like that. But now I'm happy about this.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm very curious about how did you overcame about the struggles?
I mean, I think it came with my maturity. I also spent a lot of, as I told you, I spent 7 years in UK, and I think when I was growing up and studying in UK, I was also the only Chinese person with Kazakh origin, and people would be very surprised by my background, and they would be like, "Oh, you can speak so many languages, you're so diverse, you're not like everyone," and I would take it as a compliment, and with time I would take this as a positive thing instead of as a negative.
It's very interesting. Even in Japan, when we are kids or when we are in school, people often pointed out about the people who don't have a same background or experience or heritage. But once we became adults, and we started getting jealous of those people who has a very international background or who can speak many languages, because most of the people who grew up in very Japanese environment, they cannot speak English nor Chinese, or some people haven't really have any overseas experience. And then when we become adults, those are the good thing. And they start getting jealous about the people who has that experience since they are a kid.
Yes, that's true. I would say that. You're right.
So you studied in UK in high school and university, right?
Yes, and I also did 1 year master's in France and 1 year master's back in the UK as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So you
it's hard work.
So you lived in Kazakhstan, UK, France, and now in China, 4 countries.
Yes, that's right.
So obviously, when you were in the UK, you got to spend lots of time with the UK local people as well as some other people who came from other world, right?
Yes, I did. I made a lot of friends. I think it was a very great, the best experience I had. Yeah.
I would like to ask more about Kazakhstan later on. So firstly, I would like to ask you, when you first moved to the UK, what are the culture shocks that you experienced?
I think it was the hardest time when I was a teenager because first of all, it was my first time moving out of my comfortable zone. And obviously at the beginning, when I was in the high school, I wasn't at the top of the class anymore, and it hit me different. I was like, oh my God, I should study harder and what am I doing wrong? Because I wasn't able to keep up with the work at that time. And also I did international baccalaureate, and which is, I don't know if you know, but it's pretty hard, curriculum. The first shock was probably the studies were much harder. The second one, I think, was me being alone because obviously when I was growing up in Kazakhstan, I spent 100% of my time with either in school or with my nanny or with my parents. And then when I went to UK, I had to live on my own, had to think on my own, what should I study? What should I spend more time on? How should I improve? How should I organize my life and be more independent? And I think the third one, probably the food, because I got used to eating very good food in Kazakhstan and in China. And when you go to UK, let's say the food is very diverse. However, the taste isn't that good anymore. So I think in terms of those 3 points, that was pretty hard for me to get used.
I see. So were you in the dormitory or were you in the apartment by yourself?
We had a dormitory, but the dormitory was living one person per room. So we didn't have to share with anyone.
So you have your own room in dormitory?
Yeah, that's right.
That's good. And then the bathrooms and kitchens are shared, right?
Yes, correct.
So that means you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to do everything by yourself.
Yes. It was completely different from what was used to when I was in Kazakhstan.
Thinking about your age back in time, that you were still like 15, 16, 17 years old, right? And then you had to do everything by yourself. It's not easy, I can imagine.
Yes, especially the studies. I was very stressed because I think the first thing was like getting used to English taught language, because we were taught in Russian back in Kazakhstan. We only were speaking English during English classes. And also I chose to study medical related field, which was even harder. So I had to study like more in like chemistry, sciences, biology, and those scientific parts. It was very hard for me to understand those and learn those lessons at the start. And however, at the end, I was able to overcome all the difficulties. I don't even know how I did that, but I definitely had very, long nights of me studying. But it paid me well. I was accepted to my dream university at that time. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow, that's amazing. And then you continued to studying in the UK.
Yes, that's right.
So what did you study in UK university?
So I ended up in King's College and I studied pharmacology as my bachelor's for 3 years. During those 3 years, like as everyone know, COVID came and there were like 1 year or 2 years where I spent studying online. Only on the last year of my bachelor's, we were able to go on campus. So during that time, I don't think I really grasped the whole, let's say, the university life because of the COVID. However, after that, I was able to, make a lot of friends and get to know new people. So it was okay. After finished bachelor's in UK, I directly applied for French business schools. And I also changed completely my subject. Like previously I was learning pharmacology. And then during those 3 years, I had some influence from my parents, obviously, because they are doing business. And I was like, maybe I should learn some business, And then I was like, maybe I should just like try 1 year in France and studying business. So I went to France, studied at the SEC business school for 1 year, and then came back again to UK to study business health management, which is related to medical health field that I learned from my bachelor's, and also connected to the management business school studies in France. So it was a mix at the end.
Oh, very interesting. Why did you choose to move to France?
So my boyfriend is French. So I had visited France for a lot of times, and I pretty liked the culture and the environment. So I decided to, come to France for my studies at that time. And then after that, I finished those studies and came back to UK because I still love UK more than France.
Oh,
forgive me.
Oh, really? What do you like about UK?
I don't know. It feels like the freedom of it all, and the people are more international, more friendly, and also the language. There is no language barrier for me. I did learn French, but I'm not French native speaker. So if you are not a very native French speaker, it's a bit more difficult to blend in the French community. So for me, coming back to UK felt like coming home. Yeah.
The UK has lots of people coming from all over the world, right?
Yes, and I think I have this emotional connection to UK as well.
Were you getting in touch with the Chinese people who live in the UK?
Yes, actually, with their help, I was able to improve my Chinese.
Oh.
Yes, because as you know, as I was growing up in Kazakhstan, I was the only Chinese in the school, so I didn't have any chance to improve my Chinese at all. But when I came to UK, I met more Chinese people, and I joined their community, they made more Chinese friends, and I was able to learn Chinese culture, learn about Chinese language and traditions, which was very fun.
Wow, that's very interesting because Kazakhstan and China are neighborhood countries, right? And now you fly out of Kazakhstan, and UK is a lot farther than China, right? But you got to find more Chinese people there.
Yes, that's right. It was interesting.
Talking about the life in Kazakhstan once again, outside of school, did you get to see any Chinese people in the town?
As my parents were doing business, they definitely had like some people, like some Chinese friends in Kazakhstan. However, not that much, maybe like, I don't know, 5, 6 people, but like they were all the same age as my parents. And then their kids were growing up in China. So I didn't even know anyone my age who were Chinese, which is very different from now, because now the China's community in Kazakhstan is getting bigger and bigger. A lot of Chinese people are coming to Kazakhstan because now they opened the visa-free regime. So a lot of them come to Kazakhstan to do business, and they also bring their children with them and study. And those children study in Kazakhstan, but they are not born and raised in Kazakhstan, so which is also different.
True. So that means they feel more comfortable speaking in Chinese, right?
Yes, that's right.
Interesting. So the more and more Chinese people are moving to Kazakhstan as well.
Yes, a lot of them, and they do like a lot of different business areas, like from opening a supermarket to doing like automobiles, like different fields.
That's very interesting. It seems like Chinese people everywhere, even in Japan, lots of Chinese people and many people are doing business here as well.
Oh, really? In Japan?
Yes, in Japan. And especially in Tokyo and Osaka, you get to find lots of Chinese people. And there are even some Chinatowns in Tokyo and Osaka.
Oh, that's very nice.
You can even find some authentic Chinese food as well. So we don't need to go to China if we just to have food.
That's nice.
In Kazakhstan, the people usually speak in Russian, right?
Yes, speak Russian and Kazakh. Local people speak a lot of Kazakh as well. But I learned Kazakh when I was learning in Kazakhstan until the 9th grade. And then after that, I forgot everything because my nanny is Russian, so she doesn't know how to speak Kazakh either. So I didn't even have like anyone to speak Kazakh with. So I just stuck with Russian.
I see. If you listen to Kazakh, at least you can recognize that it's Kazakh.
Yeah. I can recognize it's Kazakh, but those Russian and Kazakh language are very different from each other. Like Russian is more like a Slavic language origin, and Kazakh is more like Turk language origin, which is different.
So as you said, the appearance is definitely a lot different from the Chinese people, right, in Kazakhstan?
I think like they look Central Asian. Let's say there are different people, a lot of people that look Asian, some look more Central Asian, then some look more European. So it's a mix.
So at least you can recognize that, this person is from China or this person is from different country or like Kazakh or any Central Asia.
I think Central Asian, for me, I can recognize them. But on the other hand, like people from Kazakhstan, when they look at me, they would say maybe I'm Korean or maybe I'm Chinese or maybe I'm Japanese. They can't recognize really.
I see. So what's one thing most people outside Kazakhstan misunderstand or don't know about Kazakhstan?
I think people most of the time, they have no idea what the country is like because we have a very small population compared to the country's size. And in the UK or in China, people will ask me, where is it? Is it near Russia? Or like, do you ride horses to school or something like that? But in reality, Kazakhstan is a very modern country. It's very beautiful. We have like also skyscrapers. We have also beautiful nature, mountains, steppe. We have a lot of beautiful nature spots, and also we have very good food. So I think there are a lot of places you can visit in Kazakhstan, and it's very underrated in terms of travel destination. However, now like slowly Kazakhstan is getting more recognized by other countries, and a lot of people come to Kazakhstan to travel.
Actually, I want to go to Kazakhstan as well. My friend recently went there for travel.
Yes, you should. You should definitely come.
So what is Kazakhstan famous for?
Well, I think Kazakhstan is very famous for its hospitality. I would say this for sure, because people in Kazakhstan are very hospitable. Like it's in their culture. People are very friendly there. Like even like my boyfriend, he came to Kazakhstan for his exchange program for 6 months, and he was very surprised. He was like, he also never heard of Kazakhstan before knowing me, and then when he came for the exchange program, he was very surprised by how people are hospitable. For example, you may not know this person, but they will, come to my home. My grandma will cook for you. They are very hospitable. So I think this is a very famous character of Kazakh people that I know.
Wow, it seems like they are very open to the foreign people as well.
Yes, I agree to that. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. I would also like to ask you about China and Kazakhstan's relation and also China's presence. How visible is China's presence in Kazakhstan from your perspective?
Like right now, I think it's pretty strong, as I mentioned. I think at the start, from my childhood until now, I witnessed how the Chinese presence changed over time in Kazakhstan. So as I was growing up, the China's presence wasn't that visible. People already started noticing that many products are from China, made in China. But back then, they got a general stereotypes of, the Chinese stuff maybe is not that high quality or not very good quality. But over time, I think things have completely changed. More and more Chinese people started to come to Kazakhstan, and they get more involved into the export-import business, which is also what my family does right now. And the presence got stronger throughout time. And I think I'm actually pretty proud seeing this. I like watching that people are getting more, let's say, interested and warmer and more welcoming towards us Chinese people. So yeah, I think it definitely changed a lot from past.
Because the more and more better Chinese products and services are imported to Kazakhstan, I guess.
Yes, that's right. Chinese people come to Kazakhstan to do businesses, which also opens up more opportunities for everyone.
So how do local people generally feel about Chinese people and its culture?
I think, as I said, Kazakh people are very warm and welcoming. Hospitality is a big part of their culture. Most of the times, they're very welcoming and friendly towards Chinese community. But of course, sometimes there are stereotypes that Chinese people may be loud or that they sometimes want to sell you something, which is sometimes isn't entirely wrong, but we do love doing business. But I think for me, I view that Kazakh people are very welcoming. And especially, for example, when I sit into a taxi and then I start to speak with them Russian, they'll be like, oh, where are you from? And I'll be like, oh, I'm from China. And they'll be, first of all, surprised by how good my Russian is. And then they'll be like, oh, Chinese are our friends. So they're very hospitable towards us.
Do you usually tell them that you were actually born and raised in Kazakhstan?
Yes. And they'll be like, oh, so you're local. I was like, yes, I'm local.
Then probably they might be a lot more nicer.
maybe that's true. Yes, maybe.
You still travel to Kazakhstan a lot, right, for your business?
Yes. I travel a lot to Kazakhstan, to China, to other different countries because of the business. So from January until now, I counted, I flew maybe 56 times on plane already.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot. Yes, it's a lot, and it's very tiring.
Do you also enjoy it, traveling?
Yes, I think I enjoy changing different countries from time to time because it's interesting. And because I'm a very multicultural person as well, I enjoy being in different environment.
I can feel that. Now you live in Urumqi, that means because your office is located in Xinjiang, right?
Yes, we have 3 offices in China, 1 office in Kazakhstan. So in China, we have 3 offices, which is one in Urumqi, one in Alashankou, which is at the border between Kazakhstan and China, and one in Hangzhou, which is in the south part of China.
I see. So after study, you moved to China. So is there any reverse culture shock after you started living in China?
So I think there were definitely some reversal cultural shocks that I experienced. For example, in Kazakhstan and in the UK, people would never smoke indoors. However, in Urumqi, where I spend most of the time because of my family business, it feels like people smoke everywhere, like in restaurants, during conferences, except smoking on planes or trains. People smoke everywhere here, which is like, for me as a pharmacology student, I just think like, you don't know how bad is secondhand smoking. So sometimes this point really annoys me. However, like it's much better in Shanghai or Hangzhou. In those cities, there are rules that you can't smoke indoors, that you can't smoke in bars and stuff. But maybe currently not in Xinjiang. It's part of the culture here. And also the climate, I think. Climate here in Urumqi is brutal. I spent 7 years in Europe, so I got very used to that mild weather where, for example, in London, the temperature will get maximum -5 and then maximum +25 during summer. But then in Urumqi, the weather can get crazy. Like it already started snowing right now and it's middle of October. And then it will get as cold as -35 during winter. And then it will snow until the end of April. And then during summer, it will be as hot as +35, which is very hot. So the weather here is, let's say, brutal, but it's very good if you like skiing. So
yeah. I cannot actually imagine how hot Xinjiang is in summer, because Xinjiang is pretty much the northern part of China, right? Especially compared to Shanghai or Hangzhou.
It's definitely not that hot than compared to like Shanghai or Hangzhou, because we have like a very dry climate here, which is like you don't feel like a sauna hot compared to in Shanghai. It's like dry hot. So the sun is it gets painful when the sun is on your skin. So it's different.
You definitely need a sunscreen in summertime.
Yes, yes, that's for sure.
Especially China, usually the ladies want a whiter skin, right?
Yes, and also this is one of the another cultural shocks, because for me, I like being tanned. I like, spending a lot of time under the sun. And a lot of people will be like, oh, have you put sunscreen? I was like, no, do I need one? Yeah, so in terms of that, it's also different.
Yeah, especially in summertime. Actually, I live in Tokyo and I always use an umbrella to protect my skin from the sunshine. Parasol.
Umbrella.
Yes. And then now I get to see more and more Chinese, especially Chinese ladies, using the umbrella in summer to keep their skins white, because they don't want to get tan.
Yes, that's true. My mom used to do that, but not me.
Western countries, like usually they want the darker skin, right? Because they think that having a darker skin looks more healthier and beautiful. So the beauty standards are completely different when we go to a different country. And I found it very interesting.
Same in Kazakhstan. Like when I was small, my classmates would go to Dubai or somewhere where they will get very, very tanned. And when you come back from summer holidays to school and you're not that tanned, people will be like, oh, maybe you didn't spend your time on a vacation, which is like very similar to what European people would say.
Oh, it's very interesting. In that way, China and Kazakhstan are different as well.
Yes, they are very different. Culturally, very different.
Is there any moment you feel like you are more of a Kazakhstani? And when are those moments?
I feel like more when I'm in China. I would feel sometimes that. And also like I have already 3 cultures inside me. Even though I spent 16 years in Kazakhstan and then 7 years in Europe, I think it's still the European culture also sunk in me a lot. It's just like people are very different in China to Kazakhstan. I think in Kazakhstan people are more like friendlier and open to talk, like even to random people, for example. Whereas in China, I feel like in Urumqi, I would say, people are more conservative. And then, for example, I have a bubbly personality. And when I just like get excited and speak with eye contact to someone, they'll be a little bit stressed. And I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just too direct. I should just, calm down. sometimes I would have this feeling.
In that way, do you think that Kazakhstan people are more direct compared to Chinese people?
Yes, for sure. They are more direct. Chinese people are not direct. They like talking in like the ways. So it's also difficult for me to understand my parents sometimes, especially my dad, because they are Chinese, right? So they would talk like that. And I sometimes don't understand what they're talking about. And so that's how we sometimes have some misunderstandings because our communication barriers.
Because education background are different because they grew up in China, so they got educated in China. But you grew up in Kazakhstan, so you were educated in Kazakhstan. So education are different.
Yes. And I think the same for people in China. I feel like not that direct. Yeah.
Actually, I can tell that as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Still, compared to Japanese people, some Japanese people think that Chinese people are direct towards the Japanese people. But now I have been talking to lots of Chinese people, and now I found some similarities between Chinese people and Japanese people in terms of communication. They are not always direct. Actually, the most of the time they are indirect. That's what I realized.
Yes, that's so true. And especially doing business, because I have to be like in a lot of conferences, meetings like with our clients in China and stuff. And sometimes it's very difficult for me to grasp what they mean by what they are saying, because they are very indirect, and maybe sometimes I'm too direct for their culture, and it may seem sometimes rude, for example, but I don't have this intention of being rude, for example. And sometimes there is this like, oh, should I say this? Should I not? Because maybe they will view it as rude, or what are they thinking about? Yeah, I think this is very hard for me to currently like understand.
So you are working on it to figure it out more.
Yes.
In opposite, so when at the moment you feel that you are more of Chinese?
Recently, I've been like working with Kazakhstan people because of the business. A lot of times, like I would think that people in China are more like they are fast, like they do their work very fast, very productive. The time is like they take to do like the stuff is very fast. And sometimes, for example, when I was in France or UK or Kazakhstan, it's like the pace is much slower. And then, for example, you have to, I don't know, make an appointment for this conversation in UK or in France. Whereas in China, it's like a phone call. Oh, can you do this? Can you not? Yes or no? And then it's done. So sometimes it's like the communication, the speed of doing things in China is definitely like faster, I would think. And then at that point of time, I was like, oh, I wish they could be more Chinese, because I want the same from them as well. I want like yes or no, a more direct like response from, for example, the deals that I'm currently dealing with Kazakhstan. And sometimes it's also very slow paced, not that fast paced.
Chinese people are very fast.
Yes.
I like the speed too in terms of business. Everything goes very quickly.
Yes.
So now you are based in China, traveling to Kazakhstan and many other locations, right? What do you like about China, and how would you recommend your country to other people?
Of course, my blood and my heart, I'm Chinese, so I really do love my country. And this is also one of the reasons why I came back to China after my studies, because I think China is full of opportunities. You can start a business, you can build something creative, you can, I don't know, also get to know different people here. And if I were to recommend China to people abroad, I'd say you have to see it for yourself. It's not like one single culture or a single story, because China is very big, it's huge. We have very diverse communities here, different food, traditions, and even climates here are very different from region to region. So you could be eating, I don't know, spicy noodles in Chengdu, and then one day you can be drinking tea by Hangzhou. So it's like you have to come and visit China and explore for yourself, because we have a very diverse country here.
Yeah, I would like to visit all of the regions in China in the future.
Perfect. When you come to Xinjiang, just call me.
Yes, I will. So, okay, last question. Is there anything you would like to do in the future using your heritage or language skills experience in Kazakhstan and the UK?
I think for my own plans, I'm currently already using my background to connect my three worlds, like China, Kazakhstan, and Europe. Maybe Europe not that much for now. So because my family business it's oil manufacturing company, and all of our raw materials come from Kazakhstan. So we're actually among the top three importers from Kazakhstan to China, which I'm very proud of. So I think my language skills and my background helps me a lot. I can negotiate deals in Russian, then I can discuss the strategy with my dad in Chinese, and then I can handle some international clients in English. So I feel like I can bridge the gap between these three worlds. So in the future, I think I want to keep exploring maybe some new opportunities in import-export business, and maybe expanding more into the Europe space. Because I think this field, import-export, it's no matter how advanced technology gets or people, any other field gets, the export-import business will also always exist because people need to eat food, they need agricultural products. And especially in China, we have this massive population. We always will want to look for more partners to import those materials into China. So yeah, I think in the future, I would want to explore all this.
Wow, that's amazing. The good thing is, because you have lived in many countries and visit many cities, so not only you understand the language, you also understand the culture. That will give you more ideas of how to communicate to each other, right?
Yes, that's definitely correct. I communicate differently, with Kazakh people, with Chinese people, and with international clients. That's true.
Because of their standards are different.
Yeah. With different mentality, and I have to choose what kind of language I want to speak to them. For example, maybe I want to be more direct with someone from this country, or maybe I should be more warmer with this person. So it depends really.
Totally understand. Thank you so much, Pinya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for listening. I will keep sharing real stories that show what China is really like. Follow the show and stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a message. See you next time. 下次见.